Starting at the final forward position, a 6'7" graduate student from Sugar Hill, Georgia, number 23, Jelani James. The Cougars are coached by Robert Moore. He is assisted by Jalen Butler.
Yeah, Mike, this is a big game because they're in first place. They had a nice win up at Georgia College Saturday, but they really need to win this one. But we're missing one of the starters. He's like a Charles Barkley. He's out for like 3 or 4 more games.
Junior from Wilmington, North Carolina, number 21, Hoku Fisher. Starting in another guard position, a 6'1" senior from Alpharetta, Georgia, number 0, Jax Bucknine. Starting at another guard position, a 6'2" sophomore from Jackson, Mississippi, number 2, Mason Manning. Starting at the forward position tonight, a 6'5" junior from Brunswick, Georgia, number 13, Max Hurtlicka.
Mic check, 1, 2.
And starting at center tonight, the big man in the middle.
Well, good evening, folks. Welcome to St. Augustine, Florida, on the campus of Flagler College. I'm John Phillips, here to bring you the Saints game against Columbus State, along with Coach Joe Harding. And starting lineup's just been introduced for the Saints. It's Balknight, Manning, Hurdlicka, Fisher, and Jordan. Similar cast of characters that we've seen for the last couple games for the Saints. For the visitors from Columbus State, it'll be Jarrett Adderton, Wisdom Ubo, Cordell Brown, Roman Son, and Jelani James. Columbus State comes in 18-3 overall, 9-2 in the Peach Belt. That's a pretty good matchup there. That is a good year so far. Saints come in at 12-8 overall and 6-5 in the conference, fresh off a win over Georgia College this past Saturday. Columbus State got a win over North Georgia.
And that was a big win for our men, John, because they were getting used to not having Destin Clark for a few games, and they came back in the second half and was able to beat Georgia College.
Should be a good one here tonight. Cougars end up with the opening tap. They'll pound it in and kick it out. Saints switch it back on the screens here. Playing man-to-man so far. Cougars in the dark jerseys. Saints in the home white. Down to the right block against Manning. Over Jordan. Shot no good, but a foul. Let's wait for the whistle. Or wait for the indication after the whistle, I should say. Foul's going to go on 23. That's Jalen Jordan. As a broadcaster, they've challenged me tonight, Coach.
Yeah.
I got 23 for the Saints is Jalen Jordan. 23 for the Cougars is Jelani James.
Good luck.
Good luck is right. A good size here for Columbus State. Adderton goes 6'3", Ubo goes 5'10", Roman Son goes 5'11", but then you throw in Cordell Brown, 6'7", 200, and Jelani James, also 6'7" and 200. And then we'll bring off the bench Jordan Mitchell, 6'6", 205, Messiah Jones, 6'9", 210, and Cougars just bring some size and some bodies out there against the Saints. Full court press in a 1-2-2 trap. Manning, Hoku Fisher, double team. Tries to go out to Balknight, turns it over. Open three, left-hand wing. On the way, off the mark. Saints dodge a bullet that time, but the stick back is good with the left hand. A quick 4-0 start for the Cougars. Saints do a better job beating the press this time. Get it to Mason Manning. He'll look for Balknight. Can't find him. He'll have to run the offense himself. Now finds Jax. Down 4 in the first minute. Jordan, Jax, top of the circle, 3. Perfect.
Oh, that was
you can't go under that screen.
That was huge, John, because Columbus State will be relentless tonight on defense with pressure 90 feet. The Saints have to have their shooting eyes on to have a chance to beat them. So that's a great start.
Another good post feed into 23, Jelani James. And it's 6-3. Saints do a better job handling the pressure this possession here. The last two have been good. First one was a struggle. Hurdlicka off the left side. Going to eye a long distance triple. He'll knock it down. His percentages aren't great right now if you look at the paper, but he's a great shooter, and if you don't step out, please feel free to leave him alone all night long. Tied 6 apiece.
Well, we don't have the stats for like the last 5 games because his percentages have gone up considerably. He's really been shooting very well.
Drive off the right side is good. Got caught up in a screen there. That was Wisdom Ubo. 8-6. Cougars reclaim it. Balknight, Manning. He'll eye the triple. Saints are hitting the 3-ball tonight. Balknight, Manning, and Herdlicka. 9-8. Saints by 1 on 3 3-pointers. Balknight fights through it, gets a good hedge there from Jalen Jordan. Drive in against Herdlicka. Puts it up, puts it in. That was Wisdom Ubo. He might have got away with a little bit of a push off with that left hand as he was dribbling. He didn't push that much, but he did screen a little.
He got enough separation, and that's a tough matchup for Jack because he's extremely quick, extremely quick.
Up and under for Jack's Balknight off the window. Saints reclaim the lead 11-10.
Now, I don't know about Columbus State defensively. They've had some good games, but there've been some high-scoring games that they've won that were close.
Yeah,
so,
on paper, they average 82 and they give up 73. And there's a drive and a stick in for the Cougars. That's from Jarrett Adderton. He's 20 points a game. He's their leader offensively. Almost too easy right now for both teams. Scoring
exactly.
Almost at will right now. Corner to Manning. Back to Jax. Long dribble for Jax Balknight. That one's short. Rebound fought for. Almost had it there in Hoku Fisher's hands, but Here come the Cougars. Drive in, trail it back to the right-hand side for 3. It's short, no good. Rebound Hoku. He's 1 on 4. Good decision to slow it down. He'll wait for some helpers. Hoku back out to Jalen Jordan. He'll shoot the triple. That one's too strong, but Herdlicka rips down the rebound. Back to Jordan. Floater with the left hand. Also too strong. Rebound Jarrett Adderton. Adderton will bring it front court. Hoku tries to cut him off. Deflection, and the ball still with Adderton. Deflected again to Hoku, and deflected a third time back to Adderton. Back out to Ubo. Guarded by Herdlicka. 5'10" versus 6'5" there in Herdlicka. Definitely got some length on him. Shot clock to 14. Crossover against Hoku to create some space. Back to Ubo. He's going to drive against Herdlicka. Gets in, gets Max to lean on top of him, and draws the foul. Good move there by Wisdom Ubo. Graduate student, I should say. He is a transfer from Chattahoochee Valley Community College. 12 points per game on the year so far, and he'll earn 2 free throws after this timeout. We're at the first media timeout. 15:30 to go, first half. And Cougars 12, Saints 11.
And he recognizes that there is a little bit of a mismatch there. You mentioned the size differential, but Jack is going to have to play off of him when he's out by the three-point line, because twice now he has slipped by, and even though Jack has been up there playing good defense, trying to block, once you get that lead shoulder ahead, and you lay it off the glass, I mean, that's
6'5" versus 5'10", you think advantage Saints, but in reality, the 5'10" guy's got great foot speed, and he can turn the corner on you, especially if he gets just a little bit of a rub. It doesn't even need to be a full screen, just a little bit of a rub. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just a little bump as you turn the corner, and that's all the space he needs because he can attack off the dribble very, very well.
And Jack's long enough that he can come out but maintain some distance where it's going to be difficult for him to get a good look at the three, and then Jack can recover if he wants to drive to the hoop. Yeah. The trick is you got to get ahead and stay in front of him.
Saints will go to the bench here during this first stoppage. They'll get Trevor Smalls in the ball game. He'll bring Boom Reeves with him along with Josiah Shackelford. So Mason Manning and Jax Balknight will stay out there. And Wisdom Ubo is our free throw shooter. First is up, and it is good, 78% on the year.
One of the big things for the Saints up at Georgia College Saturday was Boom Reeves was questionable. And he said, no, I got to get in there. And he contributed 9 points that Coach Sullen probably wasn't counting on. And you can't measure having extra minutes from someone quality. Ooh.
Steal for the Cougars and a run-out flush there from Jelani James. He's got a great length. Here comes Trevor Smalls attacking the rim. Drops it off for Josiah Shackelford. Back out to Smalls. Aggressive defense. Back to Shackelford. It's deflected and knocked into the bench. Tried to save it behind his back. Couldn't get it quick enough.
Yeah.
It'll stay with the Saints in the front court.
Yeah.
Half of the shot clock left. 15 seconds.
They're talking to each other. That was a situation where the ball needed to be reversed. It went to the corner. It came to the wing, back to the quarter. So
Buck Knight will split the defenders, kick it to Shackelford. His three is no good. Knocked out of bounds by Jelani James. Boy, this 1-3-1 zone that they're in right now. Number one, they have great foot speed. But number two, they got Jelani James at 6'7" at the top of it. Long arms, quick feet. He is tough to get around. Lob into Manning. He'll catch with 18 on the shot clock. Off to Buck Knight. Turns the corner. Bounce pass over to Boom. Off the window and in.
excellent feed. Jax was about 20 inches off the floor, turning the corner, drew the defense, and laid a beautiful bounce pass waist high for Boom to finish it off.
Ubo behind the screen for a triple, and he knocks it down. 19-13. Cougars by 6. Skip past Smalls. Back over Manning. Pulls up for a jumper. That's off the mark. Unlucky. Saints hit their first 3 triples and have struggled since. Roman Son throws the lob in. It's poked away by Buck Knight. He'll get the steal. 2-on-2 in the fast break. Loses the handle but trails it back. Around to Smalls. He's going to attack on the drive. Off the right side, it's good. He turned the corner on Jordan Mitchell. And Mitchell at 6'6" couldn't quite catch up to block the shot.
I love that drive. Now that he was determined to get ahead, and he did and laid it in.
The 4-point lead for the Cougars. Post feed inside. Smalls will defend. Turn around, fade away, off the mark. Offensive rebound, though, picked up by the Cougars. Get it out to James. Throw it to Roman Son. Now Ubo at the top, out between the circles with Buck Knight. Coming back this way, kick, right-hand side. 3-ball, off the mark. Rebound tapped 2 or 3 times, still loose on the floor. Smalls comes out with it. 2-on-2 with Josiah Shackelford. Smalls a floater, a little bit out of control, a late whistle, but he does draw the foul. And it's going to go on 11. That's Roman Son, the point guard. And the Saints will get a couple of free throws here.
I was watching the referee trying to get a read. It didn't look like he was going to blow the whistle.
Yeah, there was definitely contact, but the whistle was so late, it felt like, is he going to blow it or not?
And I questioned, I'm saying, Trevor, do you go to the rim or not? They had 3 guys back, and he was 1-on-3. But he made a nice acrobatic move.
Trevor's very aggressive when he gets on the floor.
And as we said, he just did finish a terrific drive around his man. So he's excellent up on the glass on the drives.
First free throw good. One more coming. Didn't get the roll on that one, but Jalen Jordan keeps it alive but can't corral it. Ubo ends up with it. He'll be met by Shackelford between the circles. High ball screen. He'll fight through it. Back this way, top of the circle, 3 on the way. In and out, no good. Rebound. And we got a foul on the floor here, I believe, on the Saints, on Trevor Smalls. That's number 25, Messiah Jones, the 6'9" freshman.
He did a great job of keeping that offensive rebound alive.
In for an open look from 3. Off the mark, and he's over the back there. He's got it, absolutely. Mason Manning had a perfect box out there, and the only way for him to get to the basketball was to go through him or lean on top of him, and they kind of did both.
Well, John, if you listen to our pregame with the women's game and our in-between first and second half talking about boxing out, because Columbus State women are the quick, long, and they offensive rebound.
Saints down 3 with the ball. Manning right-hand side. Going to drive and kick for Buck Knight. Now Shackelford, now Smalls, now Jordan. Man flies by. Second time no good. Rebound picked up by the Cougars, then stolen back by Trevor Smalls. He gets it knocked away. Shackelford ends up with it. Ball loose on the floor to Trevor Smalls. He's looking for a helper. And they're going to get two thumbs in the air, which means held ball. Possession arrow stays with the Saints.
Now, Jalen Jordan gave a tremendous up fake underneath there. The Columbus State defender jumped out of his shoes.
He jumped over top of him.
And Jalen had to wait so long before he could go back up. And I thought there might have been a foul there because I thought he got clipped in the head.
Into Mason Manning with 12 on the shot clock. Finds Shackelford off a screen. To 7, 6, 5 to Jalen Jordan. 4, 3, 2. Fade away. Hits the rim. Rebound picked up by Trevor Smalls. Great hustle. Over to Shackelford with a partial reset. Now Jordan. Backs in. Left hand baby hook. In and out. Unlucky. Rebound Shackelford. He rips it away into a triple team and kicks it out to Balknight. Balknight wrap around Manning. Touch pass Smalls. 3 ball. In and out again. The Saints just can't buy a bucket. Here come the Cougars.
A lot of physical play inside that lane, John.
They're letting them play right now. Ubo's going to come down the paint and rattles around, no good, but the stick back is there for Jordan Mitchell. It's a 5-point Columbus State lead. Shackelford, Smalls. Skip pass, defended. Did he touch it or not? Let's see. It was Nope. The referees have a difference of opinion. One referee signaled it was touched. The other referee called an over and back violation. They'll get together and say, nope, Saints will keep the basketball. So good work by the officials. Still 16 on the shot clock. It'll take us to an under 12 media. Referee on the near side said it was deflected. Did he give the signal?
He did. He did.
So before the ball was even touched by, I believe it was Mason Manning, went to chase it down. The referee on the near side signaled that ball was touched by the defense. Therefore, the over and back is no longer in play. When he touched the basketball, the referee on the far side, who didn't have a good angle of it, called the over and back violation. Referee on the near side immediately blew his whistle, jumped in and helped his partner out and said, no, I saw the touch, I called the touch, and it'll be Saints basketball. But we do get a bit of an unscheduled media timeout here. And most importantly, get the call right, and we'll go back to basketball.
Well, one thing that Columbus State has done, it looked like they had gone to a zone, 32 zone, to take away the good three-point looks. And the Saints were taking advantage of it, but Jalen's little hook shot rattled around the rim, wouldn't go down. But I think we can get some good inside baskets if we're able to get the ball in there. The thing about Columbus State is they are long, lean, and quick on that perimeter. So you've got to have your basketball IQ hat on.
And they got a lot of bodies to come in there. They can play hard for 3 or 4 minutes and get out. They've got Harp Hunter, who just checked in, 6'6", 210, transfer from the University of Tampa. So here's Balknight with the shot clock on 10. He'll split 2, split 3, go to the basket, float it up there, no good, rebound, loose, picked up by the Cougars. They're going to push the other way in a hurry. Guilford down to the baseline, and Jordan went for the pump fake, and foul is called on Jalen Jordan.
Well, he'll have to come out. That's his second foul. I see Boom Reeves ready to check in.
Referees are getting together to discuss it here. Foul on 23. That's Jordan. That part's easy.
Fouls on number 23, Jalen Jordan. Stepping to the foul line for the Cougars.
Not sure what the debate was. Maybe was he potentially going to be in the act of shooting if Jalen hadn't landed on top of him?
That is correct.
Okay. Free throw for Jordan Mitchell is good. 67% on the season for Mitchell. One more coming. 22-16. Cougars lead it by 6. And he's got them both. Mitchell, a JUCO transfer from Shelton State Community College, calls Snellville, Georgia home. There's Balknight with Shackelford against the zone.
Back into that 1-3-1 now.
Down low to Boom. Couldn't handle the pass, though. Was open under the basket, and the ball went right through his fingertips. Guilford uses the screen to create some space. Pull-up jumper from 15 is perfect.
Jump shot is good. Number 15,
Joshua Guilford, senior out of McDonough, Georgia. Shackelford splits and kicks off to Manning for three. It is good. Mason Manning baseline triple.
Oh, that was a big shot. We needed that. Columbus State had been on a little bit of a mini run here.
Yeah, Saints were stuck on 16 for quite a while. 25-19 our score. Smalls hustles through to fight and get his defender. There's a drive in and a kick out to the right-hand wing. That's Harp coming in from 12 feet, rattles and friendly roll. A lot of backspin on that one for Harp Hunter.
I think he got a trifecta there. It hit the rim 3 times before it rolled back in.
Here's Shackelford, drops it down to Boom Reeves. Back out and around the horn, Shackelford. Poked away briefly, but he corrals it. Down low to Boom, and he'll flush it in there. Saints have found the seam in the zone. He's got to get him the ball and be able to finish it consistently.
I love to see that. That was such a strong move. Leave no doubt.
There's Jones. Drops it back for Guilford. He'll draw the foul and put up a floater that's no good. But he gets Balknight to commit the personal.
Making his way to the foul line for the Cougars is number 15, Joshua Guilford.
Guilford,
Shoot 2.
86% free throw shooter on the year. Doesn't score a whole lot, only 4.1 points per game. Does have 25 assists and 10 three-pointers on the season. Southern Union State Community College transfer. First free throw is good. As I mentioned, 86%. Cougars get Cordell Brown back in the game. He makes them both on the free throw line. Guilford 2 for 2. It's an 8-point game, 29-21. 8:47 to go here, first half. Shackelford splits and kicks to Balknight. Open look from 3. It's good. Shackelford and Balknight are deadly from 3 if they can find the space. Back to a 5-point game, 29-24.
And I think if the Saints keep exploiting that 1-3-1, Columbus State's going to have to make an adjustment on defense.
Here's Jelani James working against Mason Manning. Hunter, now Guilford. Well defended, right-hand side, 3 balls on the way. Off the mark, high in the air for the rebound is Smalls. Smalls to Shackelford. Saints look to run. It's 1-on-4. No numbers. They'll trail it around to Manning. Drops it back to Balknight. Got some space briefly, but now back dribbles out toward midcourt. Screen from Boom. Crossover and drive and kick. Smalls, triple, air ball, no good. Rebound. Oh, did he foul the three-point shooter in the corner?
He ran right into him.
Looks like he did. So we're going to have 3 shots coming here for the Saints. We'll take it after the media timeout. This takes us to our under 8 media, and the Saints have a chance to get right back in this one. Down 5 at the 7:44 mark. But when we come back, it'll be 3 free throws coming for Trevor Smalls.
And I want to add before we break off for a minute, John, I know we don't have replay, but that transition that the Saints just made was due in major part the great box out that Mason Manning put on Jalen James, who was coming in. And as you mentioned earlier, he is a tremendous rebounder with a tremendous leap. Great box out, so we got a clean rebound and pushed it up the floor.
Yeah, Jelani James is what they call a stat stuffer. 15.6 points per game, 6.9 rebounds per game. He has 19 assists. He has 17 steals, leads the team with 26 blocked shots, and he also shoots 48% from three. That ain't bad.
No, that's not. What are you going to do for me today?
Yeah,
Yes.
and later tonight when they head back to Columbus, he's driving the charter bus, I think. He is a do-it-all kind of guy. 29-24 at the 7:44 mark. Free throw shooter is going to be Trevor Smalls for the Saints. And again, he will have 3 free throws. He took the three-pointer from the right-hand baseline, right in front of the Columbus State bench, and got knocked into the bench a little bit. And he'll have 3 shots to try to make this a 2-point game. A little too strong on the first, right off the heel of the rim. Caromed right back to him, so it was on line. Just too strong. Big deep breath. Gather your thoughts, get a little of that adrenaline out of you. Calming breath, and knock in the second of 2. Just like that.
He heard you, John.
It's that deep exhale. And then fire. So he makes 2 out of 3. Does make it a one-possession game. 29-26, 7:44 to go here first half. It's been a good one so far. Cougars and Saints doing battle in St. Augustine on an action-packed big Monday here in the Peach Belt. Back in against Boom for the turnaround. Off the mark, no good. Tapped around, loose. Who's going to get it? Saints, Bucknight will get it instead of Smalls and bring it front court. Down 3 with the ball. Here comes Jax across the timeline. Crossover, got some space. Wrap around to Mason Manning. Acrobatic catch. Back out to Bucknight. Jackson, another crossover and kick. Manning, Smalls. Needs space with 10. 9 behind the back. Floater. Rattles it in there. 29-28, an acrobatic move for Trevor Smalls.
What a tremendous drive. And I'll tell you what, right now our Saints have a mini run going, 7 points. It was only a minute and a few seconds ago that they were
penetrating kick, and he kicked it to the corner, but he was in the corner and out of bounds over there. That was Harp Hunter. He got wide to get some space and got about maybe 3 inches too much space, put his heel on the sideline, and the Saints get a turnover and have a chance to take the lead here. Down 1, 29-28, as Bucknight clears the timeline. Herdlicka off the left side. Max looks for Boom. Over to Manning off a screen. And they're going to call a moving screen on Boom Reeves. I didn't see him move his feet too much. Did he initiate with the shoulder maybe?
I think Mason left. I'm not going to say left early, but before Boom fully got set, he was making his moves.
Gotcha.
I mean, that's not a ticky-tack call, but it's like one of those. The game has been so physical, you wouldn't expect to see that called 30 feet from the basket.
Cougars get some space down the paint. The Saints hedged really, really well, but they were able to split the hedge on a bounce pass and find Cordell Brown for an easy layup. Back to a 3-point game.
So Columbus has gone back to man now after the Saints did a great job of penetrating that 1-3-1.
Here's Boom for Smalls. He's got some space to attack. Gets double teamed. Who's open? He'll float it up there and lay it in. He got the double team, and then they backed off, and he said, "Oh, thank you very much."
Well, as your coach always will tell you, don't leave the ball. They had a nice trap. He didn't have a dribble left, and they gave him an opportunity, and he took advantage of it.
Got the shot blocked by Boom Reeves, but Cordell Brown able to get his own rebound on the block and put it back in. Here's Smalls trying to create some space on the drive and kick to Bucknight. Guarded here by Jelani James. Now Boom, now Jax. Down the paint with the left hand, off the window, couldn't finish it. Just a little too strong. Here come the Cougars. Up 3 with the ball. James coming down the paint, heads up, he'll lay it in.
Jelani James.
Balk Knight, heavy ball pressure in the backcourt. Trails it back for Manning. Saints are down 5. Trying to settle the troops here after they made it a 1-point game. Mason Manning with the Boom Reeves screen. Throw it back to Boom, lay it off the window and in. Little two-man game there, a little screen and roll.
Oh, that was a big hoop. Columbus State had turned it around and had a very mini run going, and we broke it up with that layup.
It's a really well-coached Flagler College team. You know, I'm watching them offensively, and Columbus State's doing a really nice job changing up their defense. They went to the 1-3-1 for quite a bit, went back to man, back to the 1-3-1. I think they interchanged a little 2-3 zone there for just a little bit, and now back to the man. And the Saints have adapted. Sometimes it's all about the adjustments, and these are in-game adjustments. These aren't timeout, halftime adjustments.
No.
It's as you bring the ball up court, and all of a sudden you look up and go, oh, they're not in zone anymore. And they've adapted their offense to their zone offense versus their man-to-man. And, you know, credit to Jax Balknight. He's the quarterback.
He is the floor leader. He's got the basketball IQ.
And there's a basketball IQ and a flush big time for Jelani James. He just posted up and said, throw me the ball and I'll dunk it.
That was from a standing two-foot jump, and he was well over the rim.
Now they're back to what looks like a little bit of a zone here in the 2-3. Balknight, Herdlicka, catch and shoot triple. A little too strong that time. Rebound comes out to the Cougars. They lead it by 5 and have the basketball. Going to attack inside, trail it back. Here's a floater down the paint. It's good for Jarrett Adderton. Just that fast, back to a 7-point game. They are adaptable. Balknight double team, skip pass, Shackelford. Man flies by. He'll take it in, off the window, stick it home. Josiah Shackelford, I think that's his first bucket of the night. The high-flying freshman out of Sanford. Been quiet so far, but don't let him get hot.
Really good decision. They were flying out there on the closeout. He got him up in the air and put it to the floor, took it straight to the rim and scored.
Little fadeaway is way off the mark, well defended. Jalen Jordan rebounds, goes to Balknight. Here come the Saints. Switched it back to man. Jordan with the Balknight with the Jordan screen. Shot's no good, rebound to the Cougars. Quickly ahead of the pack, they go Adderton, throw a lob inside. Not a good pass, but still able to adjust, catch, and finish. Jelani James has got 14. Saints are down 7. Under 3 minutes to go first half. Here's Jordan. Drops for Balknight. Takes it off the right side. Might have gotten fouled, but no call. Definitely got the ball deflected. Here come the Cougars. Son goes cross court. Pull-up jumper from the elbow is good for Wisdom Ubo. Boy, they can score in a hurry. So many weapons on the floor. It's a 9-point lead.
Their transition game is excellent.
Manning, throw it into Jordan at the high post. To Shackelford. Pump fake, man flies by, he'll float and finish. Shackelford's making some good decisions out there right now.
Great move.
Coast to coast runner the other way. Doesn't get it to go, but a foul is whistled. I think they're going to get it on Herdlicka. Yeah, Max Herdlicka picks up the foul. That'll be his second personal. And when we come back from this media timeout, it'll be 2 free throws coming for the Cougars. They lead it by 7, 43-36. And, boy, a lot of different weapons on this Columbus State team, Coach.
You blink your eye, and the next thing you know, someone's laying it in on the other end of the court. So, and as you said earlier, the Saints came out and were hitting threes nonchalantly, bang, bang, bang. The problem now is if you miss a three and a long rebound, this Columbus State team in transition is scary.
Yeah, and oftentimes when you miss a three-pointer, the rebound does carry them long. Not all the time, but oftentimes.
Exactly.
And it just plays right into their style. Yeah. You know, we're late in the year, but because this is a postponement from a snow cancellation, This is the first time these two teams have met, even
Correct.
though some teams we've already played twice.
Correct.
This game was supposed to be played not quite a month ago, about 3 weeks ago. So even though we're late in the year, first time these two teams have seen each other. But, boy, it's an impressive club over there at Columbus State. There's a good reason they're 18-3, and it's not luck.
I was just going to say, you mentioned the 18-3 record and also the depth on the bench. They hardly lose anything. They'll sub 2 guys at a time or 3, and my goodness, the quality level does not drop an iota.
Yeah, Robert Moore, their head coach in his 15th year. So he is no stranger to this game. That free throw is too strong from Wisdom Ubo. He's 78% on the year. Graduate student from McDonough, Georgia. He's got one more coming to try to make it an 8-point game. And he does. 44-36. They'll jump into a little 1-2-2 trap. Get it to Shackelford. Clear the pressure. Now back to Mason Manning. Boom in the high post. Off to Manning. Sets a screen. Step back triple. Is good for Mason Manning. 43% three-point shooter. He knocks it down and just that fast from 8 to 5 in the blink of an eye.
Big shot, especially with 1.5 minutes left in the first half.
90 seconds to go, first half. Bounce pass down low. Jelani James kicks it back out. Mishandled briefly, but corralled there by Ubo. He'll go right, working against Trevor Smalls. Back out high to Adderton against Shackelford. Spin, float, kick. Ubo again, deflection, steal. Here comes Manning. He's got Hoku on the right-hand side. Back out to Manning with 1:04 to go in the half. Manning for Boom at the top of the circle. Drops it back to Manning. Spins, floats, up, under, and rattles it home. And timeout taken here by Columbus State.
What a fantastic drive. He got the screen from Boom Reeves on the high right-hand side, and he came around. It was coming diagonally across the lane, and 2 defenders closed on him. He went kind of crouched down as he went underneath, put his arm all the way under the basket, and reversed layup going by.
It's a brilliant move there by Mason Manning to get from the right side of the basket to the left side for the up and under was athletic enough, much less the 2 guys that were trying to defend him.
And how hard is that when your arm is fully extended? So now it's just a wrist shot, and to be able to put the touch on it.
Yeah, and get a little backspin on it to spin it in from the opposite side. So the Saints have committed 7 fouls here, so they don't want to play too aggressive here in this final minute. 46.8 on the game clock, so the Saints will definitely get at least one more possession. Well, they should, unless there's an offensive rebound. We do have a little blood from Mason Manning, so he headed to the bench to get taped up, and he'll get back out there. You get about 30 seconds to get the trainer to fix it, and no sub required. Here come the Cougars. Final 45 seconds in a 1-possession game right now. Smalls playing defense. Shackelford will guard Adderton. That's a tough assignment there. Back out high, Ubo. Step back over Manning. Ooh, he knocks it down. Tough shot there for Wisdom Ubo.
Wow. That
shot clock, game clock about identical.
Shackelford was well up in the air, all stretched out, and he threw a fall away, nothing but net.
Cougars have fouls to give if they want to. They will guard Hoku. He'll turn the corner. Attack off the right side. Hang, float, finish. Here they come the other way. Racing quickly. Length of the floor. Trail it back. A long triple. Off the mark. No good. Rebound Mason Manning. And we'll go to the locker room in a 1-possession game. A big answer at the other end by Hoku Fisher. And the Saints have made it 46-43.
I'm going to call it a great effort, John, in damage control. because we were at an 8-point deficit at least 3 times, where Columbus was at a point where a couple more baskets, it was going to make it not a good ending in the first half. And here we are, a 3-point differential.
Yeah, you know, we've talked about this in some early season broadcasts. There's something psychological when 8 becomes 10. It's double digits. 10 is not that different from 9. I'm smart enough to know it's only 1 point, but in your head, it just seems so different. Saints got it to 8, and they felt like you said, Coach, they're on the verge of bad things. 8 went to 5, 5 went to 3, and that's where we are right now. 46-43. It's been a good one here in St. Augustine. We got 20 minutes more coming up. We'll take a break. We're at the half here in St. Augustine. Columbus State 46, Flagler College 43. This is the Peach Belt Digital Network.
How do you make history? In St. Augustine, Florida, Flagler College stands as a beacon where the lion-hearted can forge new paths. Here, your courage finds its name, and ambition finds its home. Inspired by the visionary Henry Flagler, you don't just learn, you create, innovate, and find where you truly belong. So how do you make history? It starts with you, right here. Flagler College, where history begins.
Welcome back to St. Augustine. Second half action ready to get underway. Of course, teams will switch ends. The navy blue with the red numbers of Columbus State will go from right to left. They got the basketball first. Little three-man interchange here. Pull-up jumper from 19. Tough shot there. Might not be the shot they're looking for in the first possession, but here come the Saints. Herdlicka to Hoku. Looking for Jalen Jordan in the post. Can't find him yet. Now he does. He'll back down, get deep, spin to the baseline. Little baby hook is short. And rebound tapped around, controlled by Jelani James. James off right-hand side. Cougars attack Herdlicka. Blocked by Jordan from behind. And we'll get a whistle and a foul on Jordan. He got ball, but he got the hand as well.
Yeah, and I thought Max Herdlicka, I thought he got a piece of the ball as well. And
yeah, Max played good defense.
He did.
Roman Son, the point guard, is the free throw shooter. In and out.
Well, I don't see anyone over at the scorer's table, so I think Coach Selland is going to ride with Jalen with 3 fouls.
Son, the point guard, is only 52% on the season. And he's right on par there, 1 out of 2. Yeah, Jalen's a mature player. He can hang in there with 3 fouls, make good decisions. Down 4 with the basketball. Herdlicka to Jordan. Drop it off for Balknight. Back around to Hoku. 3-ball on the way. It's off the mark. Rebound corralled by the Cougars. They'll look to push the basketball. Adderton in transition. Drops it off here to Roman Son, the point guard. They'll attack Herdlicka for a drive and float it up and in.
Number 11, Roman Son.
Son didn't score in the first half, but he's got 3, all 3, here in the first minute and 20 of the second half. Jordan. Back to Balknight. There's Hoku, an open look from 3. Off the mark again, rebound fought for, controlled by Manning. Back to Hoku, back to Jax Balknight with 17 on the shot clock. Saints have gotten 2 good looks from Hoku. Can't get him to drop. Jordan inside to Manning. Lost the handle briefly. Spins and kicks, got it blocked. Tried to pass it out. Jelani James blocked it. Trail it in, kick it out. 3-ball off the mark. Rebound to the Saints. To Hoku, he's got Mason Manning to his right. They'll use the Jordan screen. Hoku attacks off the right side. Too strong off the window. Saints are struggling shooting the basketball right now. Here come the Cougars. Jelani James, 3-pointer. Very short. Rebound, out of bounds. It'll go to the Saints. Saints are dodging some bullets right now.
You took the words right out of my mouth, John. We are not quite getting the kind of looks we need to get to be shooting a decent percentage. On the other end of the floor, Columbus State, I think, is making some not great decisions on what shot to take.
Yeah, Saints have not scored yet here in the first 2.5 minutes. They've had some good looks, but can't come up with anything thus far. Here's Balknight right side, back into Jalen Jordan. Backs in, leans, and finishes inside. Big basket right there for 2 reasons. Number 1, the Saints needed to score. Number 2, Jordan needed a little bit of a confidence boost.
He needed to see the ball go through the hoop, absolutely. And he showed, I will say, he showed great patience. Great patience.
Shackelford providing the defense. He's in at the last stoppage. He brought Trevor Smalls with him. Good drive down the paint, blocked by Shackelford, and they get him for the foul. That was Wisdom Ubo.
Falls on number 4, Josiah Shackelford.
Well, that's the penetration that we talked about at the end of the first half that we did so well on against Ubu and Pemberton, but he got in there. I'm not going to say it was a good foul, but that was going to be a layup. So that's only Josiah's first foul.
Free throws off the mark from Ubo. (49-45). Cougars by 4, pending the back end of the 2-shot foul here at the 16:59 mark. In and out, no good. He missed them both.
Okay, let's take advantage of that good piece of fortune here.
Down 4 with the basketball. Back to the 1-3-1 zone. Manning. Pull up 3. Perfect. The wing 3 is one of the openings in the 1-3-1.
Well, he looked, he saw the opening, and he said, I'm going to nail this shot.
It's a 1-point game. Deflection, almost a steal. Instead, the Cougars will back down for a little baby hook and finish it inside. Cordell Brown, the senior out of Orlando, Ocoee High School. Not quite a homecoming, but the only Florida player on the roster for the Cougars. Shackelford, they get out of the 1-3-1 just as fast as they got in it. Here's Jordan. Going to drive, back down, look for a helper, and he thought that Smalls was going to stay on the perimeter. Instead, Trevor flashed to the baseline, and he threw it right into the bench. Unlucky that time for the Saints. Jordan will get a break, and Boom Reeves will check in there for Flagler. 16:03 to go in the ball game as the Cougars bring it front court. Work the perimeter. Now look for a post feed into Cordell Brown. He backs in against Boom, shoots the turnaround, no good. Rebound is going to be a foul called on Mason Manning. The rebound was coming off to one of the Cougars, and Mason reached in and got him across the arm. And that'll take us to the under 16 media. 51-48, we're right where we were at the half. Down 3, Saints and Cougars in a good one here in St. Augustine. We'll be right back on the Peach Belt Digital Network.
Sonny's, local pitmasters since '68. They don't just serve barbecue, they are barbecue. Spartan Orthopedic Institute, sports medicine, and robotic surgery.
Neither team shooting the ball real well to start the second half here. Flagler is 2 out of 6. Columbus State also 2 out of 6. And each team has scored a couple 5 points to take us from 46-43 to 51-48. That's where we are with 15:49 to play. Saints got it to 1, but have not taken the lead, let's see, in a long time. We led 11-10 at the 17-11 mark of the first half, and that's the last time the Saints had the lead. The biggest lead for Columbus State was 9 when it was 43-34, and the biggest lead for the Saints was that score I mentioned previously, 11-10. We were tied once.
Well, fortunately, this won't be a shooting foul, I don't think.
Yeah, it's interesting. They might have said that he was trying to tip that ball in.
You know, the thing that I don't like about
That is exactly what they called.
It is.
Because I saw the referee run in with signaling 2.
Okay, yeah.
Like, in his judgment, Roman Son was trying to tip that ball in when Mason Manning hit him across the arm.
Okay.
Now, Roman Son is only 52%,
Okay,
so if you had to send somebody to the line.
Yeah, that was unfortunate because I saw Mason and his arm go up at the same time. I thought it was incidental, but that's
52-48, so it's a 4-point game. Saints can take it back to a 1-possession game here. They have the ball down 4. Here's Boom Reeves, the top of the circle. Looking for Shackelford. He'll find him. He'll attack up, under, and left it short on the up and under move. I think Shackelford kind of got caught in midair. He was thinking about passing at first, and at the last minute tried to shoot it. Jumper on the baseline, short. Boom gets the rebound, finds Jax Balknight. Here come the Saints. Right side Manning, touch pass Smalls. Crossover, spins, floats, and finishes in there against Jelani James. Nice move by Trevor Smalls.
That was a lightning 360 spin. The defender had no chance. I mean, he had an uncontested layup at the glass.
Smalls has got 9, and we got a whistle and a foul. I think they're going to get Mason Manning trying to fight through the screen. He ran quite literally right through one of the Cougars players. I don't think he saw him. Manning will get the foul. Ball will stay with the Cougars. Here comes a sub. Jordan Mitchell checks in. Cordell Brown checks out. Mitchell thought about a three. Passed it up. They'll swing it around to Ubo. Whistle. And we got shot clock violation or shot clock issue. Referee will go to the table and talk to the staff. I have to assume this is some sort of a clock. Didn't start. They put a 14:50 on the game clock. And 12 on the, it was on 18, so yeah, it must not have started on time. So 12 on the shot clock, 14:50 on the game clock, Cougar ball. Son out between the circles with 8, 7, and now 6. Off to Ubo, guarded by Smalls. Poked away, stolen by Bachknight, and shot clock violation. Saints almost had a steal and a 2-on-1 fast break, but couldn't ever control it, so they go shot clock violation.
And I hate even bringing it up. Jax made a great effort snaking that ball. I thought the defender grabbed his ankle and he was stumbling. But as you said, the clock ran out, but had Jax established complete control, they could have gone down for an uncontested layup.
There's a 3 ball in the corner. Comes up short from Smalls. Jelani James in transition, cut off by Bachknight and slapped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Cougars. 14-13 on the game clock, 52-50. Saints down 2. Have not led since the first 3 minutes of the game. It's been all Cougars, but the Saints are within striking distance. Into Mitchell, out to Jelani James, and now Adderton. That's a moving screen, yeah. Jelani James set the screen, and he took that right leg and kind of extended it.
That's an automatic call from the referee.
Your feet basically have to be about shoulder width apart.
Correct.
If you try to make that big, wide base, that's a violation.
Yeah.
You can't get wider than your natural body position. Here's Bachknight off a screen from Smalls, dribbles through, but tries to dribble through too many people.
Yep.
Going the other way, 3-on-3. Kick it right side. Poked away. Smalls has got it with Bachknight, 2-on-2. Trevor's going to attack. Step through and kick to Jackson, the corner. Throw it cross court, lost the handle. Saints had a chance to tie it up or maybe take the lead on a 3. Got a little sloppy. Here's Ubo, bumped by Boom Reeves. And foul on Boom. That'll be 5 fouls on the Saints. So 5 team fouls here with 13:27 to go in the ball game. Coach Sellen's going to get Jax out of there for a little bit. I think it's his first rest of the night. He just looks a little bit winded right now.
And we're at that point in the game, John. We're not quite at mid-second half, but both Columbus and the Saints have been not making some great decisions.
Yeah.
The shot-making decisions haven't been good, and then we've had the turnovers, a couple of scrums where one team gets it, the next team steals it back and forth. So who's going to break out of this and get a run going?
And the Cougars can't get it inbounds, and the Saints play good defense to force them to take a timeout. That actually came at a good time. Number one, they had to burn it. Number two, we get a chance to catch our breath. When I say they and we, Columbus State has more depth.
Correct.
Flagler is only really playing about 7 guys right now.
Correct.
And they're starting to get winded.
Yeah.
That timeout couldn't have come at a better time for the Saints. They can dig in here on defense. 20 on the shot clock, and the Cougars will have it underneath their own basket. And the Saints are within striking distance, trailing it by 2, 52-50.
And both teams have been trying to do a little too much with the ball, and that's why the turnover or the awkward shot. So we haven't had a score in at least, a minute and a half? When was the...
Yeah, it's been a low-scoring second half overall, and especially recently. Saints are scoreless for the last minute 49. Columbus State is scoreless for the last 2 minutes and 28 seconds.
There you go.
So it's 7-6 here in the second half, and we've almost played 7 minutes.
Yep.
So if each team is scoring 1 point per minute, it'd be 20-20 at halftime. Clearly, that's not the case.
No. So I look at that and I say that's good for the Saints because as you and I spoke at halftime, Columbus is an explosive team. So I don't know how long we can keep the fuse lit without the bomb going off.
But they're going to go all the way into the backcourt, the only way they can get the ball inbounds. Throw it to Jordan Mitchell. He'll give it to Ubo. Takes it behind his back, splits 2 defenders and kicks to an open 3 right-hand side. In and out, no good. Boom Reeves corrals the rebound. Cougars are now 1 for 11 from three-point area. Saints need to capitalize on this one. Third time to have the basketball, down 2. They've gone 0 for 2 in the first 2 possessions. Bad decision there by Trevor Smalls. Tried to throw it across 4 different people inside, a pass that was never open. Here's Ubo up high against Hoku Fisher. Takes it in, floats it up, no good. Rebound to the Cougars, though. Down the paint for a floater. It's good, and the foul. Jarrett Adderton able to hang, finish, and get fouled.
That was a tough one. I thought the Saints may have gotten away with the body on that first drive.
Agreed.
Nonetheless, the ball was up for grabs, and he came from just about the three-point line and corralled the offensive rebound and put it in.
Saints missed an opportunity for the 3rd consecutive possession, down 2 with the ball, to take the lead with a 3 or tie it with a field goal. Instead, they're down 5. Here comes Shackelford attacking and turning it over. Took it right into the teeth of the defense, and the teeth bit him right back. Back the other way, James rejected and saved by Shackelford. Into a double team. He tries to turn the corner on him and does. Makes a good decision there.
That was
Slow it down.
That was a huge block.
Balk Knight trying to go 2-man game here with Shackelford. Shackelford to back his man down. Shoot a fadeaway on the baseline. Too strong. Rebound tapped. Controlled by Jelani James. Good box out. Taps it to himself. Guilford at the point guard working against Balk Knight. Ubo thought about a 3. He'll work against Trevor Smalls. Back out high to Adderton. Now Ubo attack into the defense. Kick it out. A drive by Guilford. Trail it back. Cross court around the horn for 3. Off the mark, no good. Rebound, Mason Manning had it. Last touched by the Cougars out of bounds. We'll go to the under 12 media timeout. Saints are still within striking distance, but they've been quiet offensively for the last about 4, maybe 5 minutes or so. 55-50, Cougars by 5 at the 11:22 mark. And again, go to the stats here.
Yeah, the only point scored since our last break when we talked about the scoring drought was the 3-point play by Columbus State. It's been 52-50 forever. It's only 55-50.
Yeah, 9 points for the Cougars, 7 for the Saints here in the second half. Columbus State 3 out of 12 from the field. Saints are 3 out of 10. Neither team shooting it real well, and we're rapidly approaching the midway point of the second half, and neither team has scored double figures yet this half. Columbus State is one of their last 7, and Flagler has gone scoreless for 3 minutes and 52 seconds. This is the critical stretch right here. This is a similar point in the game where last time we were at home, the Saints were down 8 and went on a 16-0 run, which took us from down 8 to up 8 in about 3 minutes. Trying to speak truth into existence right now, right?
Well,
will the way for the Saints to get hot shooting the basketball, because it hasn't been a good second half so far.
No, we keep saying it. Here's another trip. Let's hope they can put some points on the board here.
Hrdlicka checked back in for the Saints. He's been a sniper from 3. Here's Balknight, an open 3. Left that one short. Hrdlicka gets a rebound, though. Back to Max. Thought about a 3, passed it up. Over to Balknight. He'll drive baseline. Off the window. Couldn't get it to go. Jordan, rebound, stick back. Oh! Jalen Jordan almost had the putback and one, which would have gotten the momentum back to the Saints side of things. Instead, he'll shoot 2 free throws. Foul on Messiah Jones, the freshman out of Riverdale, Georgia. Jalen makes the first. 14 points and 8 rebounds a game for Jalen Jordan. He's got them both. So it's a one-possession game again, 55-52, as we're under 11 to go here in St. Augustine. Son, off to Mitchell. Now Adderton, a jumper, that's good. Adderton averages 20 a game. He's been relatively quiet, but that shot was pure. Here's Shackelford from Hrdlicka. Now Jalen Jordan. Attack down the paint for a runner, off the window and good. When they clear out for Jalen to go one-on-one against Messiah Jones, I like Jalen's chances. Back to a one-possession game. Here's Adderton again. Off the mark, rebound Shackelford. Nope, Jordan ends up with it, but either way, the Saints have the ball. Balknight got some space, crossover to create more. Kick it to Hrdlicka, catch and shoot, triple, off the mark. Rebound to Jordan, that's going to be a hold called on 25, Messiah Jones. Boy, this place would have erupted if Hrdlicka could have knocked that one down.
As soon as it left his hand, I said, come on.
Good. Right on line, but just short. Saints get a fresh 20. Into Jordan. He'll back down. If they sink, he'll kick. Backs, floats. Oh, couldn't finish it. It just hung on the rim.
Oh.
Wouldn't trickle over. Cougars come the other way. A drive and a kick out to the right-hand side left-hand side for 3 from Joshua Guilford. It's good. 27% three-point shooter, but he knocks that one down. Doubles the lead from 3 to 6. Shackelford. Oh, lost the handle, trying to go to Hrdlicka. Here come the Cougars the other way. There's Guilford again. Pump fake, drive, kick, off to the corner. Step back 3 ball. Off the mark, no good. Rebound loose on the floor. Jordan's got it. He'll go to Balknight. He's got Shackelford to his right. Cougars do a good job getting back. Balknight, offensive foul. He created space with the right hand, dribbling with the left. Pushed off on the defender, and the Saints turn it over. As soon as the whistle blew, Jax knew exactly what the call was going to be.
We're getting to that point in the game, John. The leads have been small. It's been at 6 now for a minute or so. It stayed at 3 for a long time. The Saints need to put some points on the board.
Adderton goes in, floats, but can't finish. Rebound loose on the floor, picked up by the Cougars. Here comes Adderton, penetrating pitch. Trail it back, swinging around. Adderton's 3 is good. You nailed it, Coach. It was 3. It went to 6. Now it goes to 9. Second three-pointer in a row for the Cougars. 63-54, equaling their biggest lead of the night. Backdoor cutter to Shackelford. Couldn't handle the pass, just trickled off his fingertips out of bounds, and the Saints turn it over again.
That was unfortunate. I think he was just a little anxious to get the ball going up toward the glass to lay it in, and it just rolled off his hands out of bounds.
Chance to take the lead by double figures for the Cougars. Adderton thinks about a 3. Passes it over left side. They'll pump fake, float, and can't finish. Rebound Smalls. He's going to attack on the dribble. Bounce it over this side to Manning. Goes baseline, gets caught in midair and knocked out of bounds, and they'll say he does not get knocked out of bounds. He stepped out of bounds before he got knocked further, and the Saints turn it over once again. 63-54, still a 9-point lead for the Cougars. This is the under 8 media timeout. We'll take a break. 7:43 to play. Columbus State 63, Flagler 54. We'll be right back on the Peach Belt Digital Network. Neither team shooting the ball real well here in the second half, but the Cougars have done just enough to take the lead from 3 and push it to 9. Columbus State shooting 31%, but Flagler's only shooting 28%. Columbus State shooting 28% from 3. Flagler's only shooting 16%. It's 17-11 here in the second half. Cougars have taken the 3-point game and made it 9. Post feed in to Adderton. Shoots the turnaround over Mason Manning, and Mason blocked it, and a late whistle and a foul is called. Mason thought he got that one clean. Referee disagreed.
Number 2, Mason Manning.
Well, now the Saints have really got to weather this storm. I thought Mason played great defense there, and incredibly difficult fall-away shot that along the baseline that he got called for. So
Adderton off the mark on the free throw. He's 88% on the year.
And this has really helped the Saints, because Columbus has missed 4 or 5 free throws here in the second half.
He does make the second of 2, and that makes it a 10-point game. First time we've seen double figures.
Yeah.
64-54, Cougars by 10. Saints need a bucket, maybe as big a possession as we've had all night long. Balknight, 3-ball, off the heel of the rim, no good. Rebound, Columbus State. Guilford controls it, and now they'll take the air out of the basketball and slow it down. Approaching the 7-minute mark and leading by 10. Here's Adderton. Tough assignment for anybody, especially one-on-one. They'll trail it back. They work it down to 7. To Guilford with 5. And a steal by Balknight. Here come the Saints. Balknight's got it in transition, quickly into Jordan. Jalen will turn and face. They'll clear out for him to back down, shoot the little baby hook. It's good.
That was a beautiful situation. The Saints got the ball in there. Josiah Shackelford went across the lane and gave Jalen a chance to go one-on-one, and he took advantage.
Back to an 8-point game. Smalls provides the defense. Shot on the way, rattles home for Cordell Brown. Brown's been pretty quiet tonight. He's got 8. Here's Jordan again. Backs in, another baby hook with the left hand, off the mark. Hung on the rim, wouldn't go through. And there's a bump from Balknight in the midcourt area. And that is 9 team fouls on the Saints. So we're going to have a 1-and-1 here for the Cougars. Saints have committed 9 fouls, so next foul and the rest of the game will be 2 shots automatically.
Yeah.
Cougars have only committed 3, so they still have plenty to play with. Guilford will be our free throw shooter. He's 86% on the year, and we're going to give him a 1-and-1. In and out, no good. The Cougars are opening the door.
A reprieve.
Yeah, the Saints have not been able to walk through it thus far. Jordan in the high post. Shackelford top of the circle 3. It's short. Jordan the rebound. Backs into a double team. Kicks to Balknight. Pump fake. Drives in. Trails it out to Manning. Pump fake from him. Corner to Smalls. 3 ball. Good. Extra pass was the key to success there. From 10 to 7, Trevor Smalls knocks down the triple. 5:27 to play. Coach Sellen wants timeout.
Yeah, what a shot of fresh air that was.
Saints have some high percentage three-point shooters.
Yes, yes.
Balknight, 44%. Mason Manning, 43%. Shackelford at 50%. And Trevor Smalls, even though he's only 33, he has gotten much better recently. And over the last couple games, his percentage has been over 40% from 3. So they have weapons. Thus far tonight, the numbers haven't backed it up. As a team, we've made 8 3-pointers tonight, but here in the second half, we're just 2 out of 9.
Right. Well, at least I'm respecting the fact the Saints showed a lot of patience there because Jax had a look, Josiah had a look. They took one more pass, and they got it to Trevor, who had a little more time to measure it, and he knocked it down.
Cordell Brown, stolen by the Saints. Balknight, Jordan down the paint for a floater off the window and good.
That's the second big steal that Jax Balknight has made in the last minute and a half.
From 10 to 5, just that fast. 5 minutes to play. Here's Jelani James. Off to Ubo. Now Son, back to Ubo. Against Shackelford. Uses a screen, turns the corner. Cross court pass. Pull-up jumper. Off-balance jumper, no good. Rebound Jordan.
Big rebound, rebound.
That was Harp Hunter. Took that shot. Here's Balknight. And fouled going by. Foul by number 11, that's Roman Son, the point guard.
Well, let's hope that doesn't play into the end result here tonight. That's only the 4th team foul for Columbus State with 4.5 minutes left. And as you mentioned earlier, John, the Saints have 9 fouls. The next one, the Columbus will be shooting 2 free throws.
Adderton back in there for Harp Hunter. Here's Manning. Now Jordan. Balknight thought about a 3. Shot clock on 8. Down the paint, dish to Jordan. Flush it.
Well, Jax is in his element right now.
We got a little second wind here.
He looked at the 3, went down the lane, and he wrapped that ball around Jelani James to get it to Jalen.
Another steal for the Saints. Down 3 with the basketball. Here's Manning to Jordan. He'll attack on the dribble. Into James. Put it up, put it in. It's a 1-point game. 3:38 to play. The Saints have scored 9 straight. From down 10 to down 1. Space for the Cougars far side. Back out to Jelani James. Now Ubo, guarded by Shackelford. Got some space to drive. Trail it off here to Adderton. Works against Smalls, tough jumper. Off the mark, no good, rebound Saints. With 3:13 to play, the Saints have the ball and a chance to take the lead.
That was a great defensive stand.
Here's Balknight with space. Double team. Kicks it to Shackelford. Triple is off the mark, unlucky. Cougars come in front court. Coach Moore puts 3 fingers in the air. They set the play. They look for Jelani James on the block. Throw it down to him. Against Manning. Deflected. Ends up with it. Puts it back up. Leaves it short. Tips it up. Tips it in.
Oh, what an unfortunate little segment there. We had the rebound. It got bounced back up. Tipped up and in.
Back to the 1-3-1 zone. Manning, corner, Smalls, 3-ball, off the mark. That would have tied it. Saints got a good look, couldn't get it to drop. Down 3 at the 2:12 mark. Sun working against Balknight. He'll fight around the screen. Sun gets deep, kicks it out. Jelani James, triple. Perfect. And it's a 6-point game just that fast.
Now, we haven't heard Jelani James's name mentioned much in the last 7 or 8 minutes. And then all of a sudden, he gets, and part of that was fortuitous, the tip in.
Yeah.
But then he comes and makes a 3-point shot with a minute 53 left. So.
Yeah, 66-65. And then Jelani James scores 5 straight.
Yes.
And it's a 6-point game.
Yeah.
Like that. Hey, we mentioned it earlier. He's not a guy that you would necessarily think is a great 3-point shooter because he's so big and athletic inside. But he's 48% on the year, and not just because he's taken a couple.
Right.
He's taken 88 threes on the season, and he's made 42 of them. So he is a weapon all over the floor. And here in the last minute, it's been a 5-0 run, 5 points for Jelani James and 0 for the Saints. And the 1-point game has become a 6-point deficit, but still right in this thing. 1:53 to play.
And the Saints, on their end, have had 2 good looks from each corner, and unfortunately, they couldn't nail those shots.
Yeah, Shackelford here and Trevor Smalls over there.
Right.
Both were good looks. Both were open, but neither would drop. Sometimes that's just the difference. You run your offense, I run my offense. I get a good look, you get a good look. Yours goes in, mine doesn't.
Well, here the Saints, we have the ball, so we've got to show a little patience here. It's critical that we come away with some points on this possession.
Balknight will clear the timeline. They'll go to the 1-3-1. They attack Jack's far side. He'll go over here. The ball was kicked. So Jelani James kicked it. Shot clock's on 22, so they'll leave it where it is. If it were below 20, they'd put it to 20. They'll stay in the 1-3-1. Balknight will shoot a long 3. It's off the mark. Rebound, loose on the floor, and picked up by the Cougars. They'll clear the timeline at 1:30. Saints are down 6. Ubo working against Balknight. No fouls to give. Trying to play good defense. There's a double team with Jordan. Throw it to the corner, right side. Guarded by Smalls, ball loose on the floor. And held ball, possession arrow to the Saints. 1:08 on the game clock, but down 6.
Well, that was some intensive defense by Jack Balknight, Mason Manning, Trevor Smalls, so it paid off.
They're going to line up like they're going to stay in the 1-3-1. Let's see if they do. Now they're switching. They're going to go man. There's an open look for Trevor Smalls. He'll take it up, float it. Oh, goodness, he got fouled and almost got the basket and one. Saints really needed a 3-pointer or a 3-point play and almost got it. Pretty good job there by the Cougars to disguise the fact that they were in a gonna go man, and when they lined up in the 1-3-1, and then as the ball cleared the midcourt line, one of their players jumped up and yelled, "Man, man, man," and they dropped back. Saints tried to kick it to the corner and did successfully, but couldn't quite finish as the zone dropped into man. But they do get one free throw and a chance to get a second one here and make it a 4-point game. Smalls hits them both. Down 4 with 1:04.
Yeah, and unfortunately for the Saints, if they foul a non-shooting, it's going to be 2 shots. That'll be their 10th foul.
Well, the point guard's only 52%, so he's the guy you want to foul if you're going to. But it looks like they're going to play defense. because they've let them burn 15 seconds with no foul as of yet. There's a lob inside to Jelani James. Back over to Sun. Kick it out. Adderton's triple. It's good. Jarrett Adderton knocks down the 3 ball and makes it a 7-point game.
That's the second time he's done that in the last minute and a half from just about the same spot.
There's a deflection and a steal for the Cougars. Ahead of the pack, and layup no good. Stick back is good for Jelani James. 2 players ran into each other, and the Saints race at front court, but they're down 9 right now. Shackelford going baseline. He'll stick it in with 10 seconds to play. But it's going to be a little too little, too late here for the Saints. They were right in this one to the very, very end, but the Cougars are going to emerge victorious in a 7-point game, 76-69 with 10 seconds left to go. And
well, as you pointed out earlier, John, basically Coach Sullen was down to 7 players, and we just could not quite get over the top and get separated with a 3-5-point lead to make Columbus State feel the pressure.
Yeah.
And we hung right in there at that 1, 2, 3 point, and then Adderton hit those 2 big 3-point shots to put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, the Cougars have gone 4 for 9 from 3 in the second half, 44%.
There's the
which
difference.
Is well over their season percentage, I believe, is in the mid-30s. Yeah, they're 36% on the year, but 44% tonight. And the Saints have been the polar opposite. The Saints just 2 out of 12. We have made 1 for our last 9 3-pointers. And with 10 seconds left, down 7. Cougars going to get the ball inbounds here, and the Saints will foul. With 9.3. Free throw shooter is going to be Guilford.
And certainly we've had some opportunities. Columbus has helped us out because I don't think their free throw shooting has been that.
No, just 13 out of 20 tonight.
And in the second half might not even have been at that percentage. But
4 for 10 in the second half. You're right, yeah, 9 for 10 in the first half. They were good. Second half, 4 for 10. So they opened the door.
They did.
As I said earlier, but we just couldn't walk through it. We stumbled up the steps a couple times with some open threes that we couldn't get to drop. Smalls will shoot a triple, and that one's off the mark as well. And the clock will expire. Saints are not going to foul, and that'll wrap it up. Final score is going to go in the books at 78-69. Cougars win it by 9 over the Saints tonight. Jelani James leads them with 21 and 11, 21 points and 11 rebounds, a double-double for James. Adderton had 16, Ubo had 14, Brown with 8, Sun with 4, Hunter with 2, and Guilford had 9, and Mitchell had 4. For the Saints, the leader was Trevor Smalls with 16. He also had 6 rebounds. Jalen Jordan had 14 and 8. Mason Manning had 14. Bucknight had 8 points, 7 assists, and 5 steals. Herdlicka had 3. Hoku Fisher had 2. Shackelford had a tough night with only 6 points and went 0 for 3 from three-point area. And Boom Reeves had 6 points as well. Saints fall tonight 78-69 to Columbus State as the Cougars improve to 19 and 3 overall. Saints fall to 12 and 9 in a tough way to start a 3-game week here on the home court.
Well, you can't fault the fight that the Saints showed tonight. I mean, they are a little undermanned, as we spoke.
Yeah.
And
yeah, we'll take Coach Sullen. He'll come up.
And here comes Coach Sullen, so let's let him give the narrative.
Yeah, Coach, appreciate your time. I know this was a tough one. You guys fought like heck to get back and make it a 1-point game, and then a couple of big buckets by Columbus State there at the end. They got an outstanding team, but man, it's just one of those games where you're fighting so hard to get back in it, and just couldn't get over the hump.
Yeah, no, really proud of our fight down the stretch. And yeah, I think they made their two best players made two big threes late. We missed two big threes. I thought Trevor had a great three, and Josiah had a really good look, and we make those, we go up two, and we miss those, and credit to them. They play hard. They're super well coached, and they made two big threes in that last minute 45, and that was the ball game. But I thought that one stretch where he had about 6 turnovers and didn't get anything off the rim really hurt us. But credit to them. They're a reason they're number 1 in the region and number 1 in our conference right now, and credit to them.
Yeah, just a tough matchup tonight. We're not saying that we're short-handed, but toward the latter part of the game, the pace of play tonight just seemed like sometimes it was up and down the floor, and they had a little more depth. A couple times we got a little bit winded, maybe made some mistakes that
absolutely.
you don't see normally.
I agree.
By our ball club, but heck of a game, and you're exactly right. Josiah's 3 right here from the wing, and Trevor's 3 from that corner right in front of your bench. If one of those 2 balls goes in, this is an entirely different ball game.
Absolutely.
And Coach and I talked about it at length. I said, sometimes you run your set, I run my set. You get a good look, I get a good look. Yeah. Yours goes in, mine doesn't.
And that's basketball. And credit to them. I mean, it's the reason why those 2 guys they're 4-year players. They've been a part of that. And Josiah, he's a freshman, and he'll make those. He's going to be a great player for us moving forward, and he's going to continue to make big shots. And it's a learning process through all that. So the best thing is with all that, we get 4 games in 7 days, and we get to play them again next week at their place, which will be even tougher. But quick turnaround for us. We got Augusta coming in here on Wednesday, so we got to rest and get back to the film tomorrow and continue to figure it out. So.
Yeah, that's the only good news on a tough loss is you don't have long to worry about it because you got to bounce right back and get after it on Wednesday night. Coach, we appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Yes,
appreciate you coming by.
Thank you.
All right, that's Coach Blake Sellon, head coach of the Saints here. Tough one for the Saints tonight. They were down for the vast majority of the game tonight by as many as double figures, but battled on a 9-0 run to take it from a 10-point game to a 1-point game. But just couldn't get over that hump, Coach. Sometimes we talk about basketball being a game of runs and momentum, and we had some momentum. 9-0 run, got the crowd involved a little bit. It's a 1-point game, and just couldn't quite get over that last little bit. I feel like if we could have taken the lead, this crowd gets into it a little bit more, and you never know what happens. And, unfortunately, it's a heck of a ball club over there at Columbus State. They're veteran. They didn't wilt under pressure. They battled back. They got some big offensive rebounds. That little tip in, I think it was Adderton. Then the next possession, he hits a 3, and the game just turned on its head at that point.
And Columbus, the other thing that maybe we didn't mention over the last 5 minutes, Columbus State made a concerted effort to not give Jack Spocknight a good look from outside.
Yeah.
And equally Mason Manning. So it came down to a couple of the other players, and again, with the intensity that the Saints had to play on defense. They did a great job in the second half. This team scored, 46 points in the first half. Yep. So aside from the foul shooting and the 2 threes from Adderton, they were in the low 30s. So a great defensive effort, but that wears you down on the offensive end. And you don't have the legs to make that rhythmic 3-point shot. And as you just indicated to Coach Sellon, had one of those 2 shots dropped, now the game is a whole different complexion over that last 90 seconds.
Yeah, it's amazing how you get that burst of energy from making a 3-pointer, especially when it's a 3 to tie or maybe even a 3 to take the lead. All of a sudden, that adrenaline boost. You might be tired, but you don't feel tired because the crowd's gotten engaged. You got your own energy from internal, and you get over that hump, and the next thing you know, you take a lead and extend it. And but it wasn't meant to be tonight. So got to have a short memory. Go home tonight, sleep on it, get back in the gym tomorrow, a little practice, a little film, and then we're going to play on Wednesday night. And it's not just the men; the women are doing the same thing.
Exactly.
Bouncing back.
Neither loss tonight was a make or break situation. Certainly, with a win, you put yourself and give yourself a little bit of a cushion in case there's a bad game down the road. But you've got plenty of time now. Take care of business Wednesday. Then we have another home game Saturday.
Yep.
And so let's pull 2 wins out of the fire there, and you go on the road, and you're right where you want to be.
Yep. So we will be back here on Wednesday night. The women will tip off at 5:30. The men will follow shortly thereafter, approximately 7:30. And we're going to stay in the state of Georgia for our opponent. We'll move from Columbus, Georgia, over to Augusta, and we'll welcome the Augusta Jaguars
The
to
Jaguars
town on Wednesday night. 5:30 and 7:30 for from a women's broadcast partner. That was Ivan Kelly. Here for the men's game, it's Coach Joe Harding. We'll say goodnight from St. Augustine. I'm John Phillips here on the Peach Belt Digital Network. Good night.